So, Netflix, they're dropping a new live action show. The most recent one, I think Avatar's coming out before this, or is Yu Yu Hakusho coming out before? I'm not sure. But Yu Yu Hakusho, it's one of your favorite shows, right? One of your favorite anime.
Yes, it's not. It's. I think it is the favorite. It is. I don't think. I know it's my favorite anime because it's what kind of other than Dragon Ball Z, it's what really like solidified and kind of like hooked me onto anime. Because Dragon Ball Z, when I was watching Dragon Ball Z, I didn't know what anime was, and then by the end of watching Yu Yu Hakusho, that's when I started to understand what anime was, and I started to realize that those were the type of shows that were entertaining to me. So Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball Z were both the two animes that got me hooked into anime when I was a kid.
So yeah,
Of course. And then after when I watched Yu Yu Hakusho, I started watching Inuyasha, but I didn't watch Inuyasha like consecutively. It was just whatever I saw on Toonami, I would watch it.
but yeah,
Um,
fucking comparing it. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, what's it called? Yeah, I was gonna ask you like what makes it stand the test of time compared to newer shows like Attack on Titan, how like deep and complex the plot is and the character arcs and how you can kind of somewhat match some themes to real life. Like what makes Yu Yu Hakusho stand the test of time and like because you're obviously not the only person to say like it's what like your favorite anime or whatever. But I just want to know compared to other shows, what makes Yu Yu Hakusho stand the test of time?
for me personally, I think the reason why a lot of people look at Yu Yu Hakusho as an iconic anime show is because I think people in my age demographic, like who still watch anime, anyone who's watched anime in my age demographic has watched Yu Yu Hakusho, and I feel like when you watch all the new animes, you can always trace it back to Dragon Ball Z or Yu Yu Hakusho. Um, like their abilities, like the powers that they have, spiritual energy, ki, and the themes that I think of that almost every anime touches on is the underdog. Yusuke was definitely a huge underdog, and he was one of the first underdogs that I've seen in anime history. Which is why I feel like it's kind of iconic because his his fights, what he would go through, like in the beginning, he was the person that would give up. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like in the beginning, he was still strong compared to the like, people he was fighting because he was only fighting like bullies and regular people. But we realized like, oh, this dominant guy who's so tough in high schooler. It's not really so tough when he gets into the spiritual world and starts becoming a spirit detective. And you can see that like um, there's times where he realizes like, damn, I'm not as macho man as I thought I was. Like the first experience, like he actually felt fear for the first time in one episode. It was kind of a crazy episode when Toguro first appeared in the anime show. Basically, he destroyed a whole building, and then Yusuke was like petrified and he couldn't even move. And he's like, "Yo, like this guy really made me feel like a bitch. Like I really gotta like beat this guy because like if I can't beat him, like then everyone's gonna be fucked." But he was afraid, and he even mentioned it being afraid, and it was like crazy because it was like setting up. It was like the first underdog show that I've seen where like the main character was scared. He's like, "Damn, I gotta overcome my fears." And there was times when he wanted to give up, and we see that like he keeps on instead of giving up, he decides to keep on going. What made the show really good was the other characters surrounding him. I felt like they felt like more practical people versus because there wasn't really like there's anime characters that are so weird. You know what I mean? That you like there's no nigga out there that's walking around like sitting on the chair like L or fucking saying weird shit. I feel like they felt like regular like teenagers, and the dialogue felt like it was like regular teenagers. He would say like cuss words. He was more vulgar than most anime main characters. And the clothing was kind of unique too because actually like had the '90s style clothing versus like you will see like animes like Juju and Jujutsu Kaisen or like Bleach. Well, I want to say Bleach. Bleach has like some variety, but there's majority of like Naruto. They all wear the same thing every time, and it felt like them wearing like different clothes when they're hanging out. It made me feel like they were actual people. So there's that, and then there's the camaraderie and their friendship and then what they like how they became friends and the bonds made it like really really kind of unique, and that's why I feel like it's like the blueprint of like kind of like shonens, one of the blueprints of shonen, which makes it why it makes it so iconic.
Yeah, I hear that. Out of everything that was made into live action, I do think Yu Yu makes the most sense. Just one, the fact that how old it is, and two, I think like just like the how practical it is. It's like it's pretty basic to a degree. Like it's not too crazy.
Yeah,
compared to like One Piece.
it's not too crazy at all. Man.
But I think I do like Yu Yu Hakusho, but I feel like I still don't truly get why like it's everybody's favorite. I do think it's very nostalgia based, but that it makes sense. Like it's an old show, of course it's like nostalgia based, but I think just like when I compare it to other shows, like, do you think if Dragon Ball Z came out right now, it would be popular? I think so.
I think it would still be. I think it would still be popular. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Or like Cowboy Bebop, if it came out right now, it would still be popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anytime. I think any time period, I would be popular. Yeah.
I just don't feel the same way about Yu Yu. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not saying because it's because
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. It started the trend that other animes follow, but that doesn't make it like if when somebody does it first, that doesn't make them the best at doing it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like so. I think it's definitely nostalgia fueled, in my opinion. I have seen episodes of Yu Yu. I just do think this one makes the most sense to remake because of the time period and what they can do now. Like I would like to see like just like a new Yu Yu show, like just to see how that would work nowadays. You know what I mean? Compared to like just revisiting the old series. But speaking of the live action, you know, after watching One Piece, what's your thoughts after and you've seen the trailer, the teaser trailer? What are your hopes for this show? What are you thinking?
After watching One Piece, I do think that they could pull off Yu Yu to a certain extent. I see like the first couple arcs, like the Spirit Detective Saga, and then after they fight all the beasts in their power. I don't know how. Honestly, that's gonna be kind of tricky. But when they get to like the Dark Tournament, I wonder how it's gonna like. They're gonna have to make it MK like Mortal Kombat. Like I feel like when they get to that point, I do think it's doable. I do think everything in Yu Yu Hakusho is doable. It's just that the CGIs with certain characters, like when Tokoro becomes Brolic. I mean, I think of Hulk. You know what I mean? Like they can make like a, you know, like who's that guy that Hulk fought? That Abomination. I could picture like them doing like an animation like that, but is Netflix like funding the right people for that? You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna really look good, or is it just gonna look like some guy in a buff suit?
Yeah, I mean,
and I think the storyline's totally doable. It's just
definitely.
I don't know if the funding is gonna be good enough, because some of the characters in One Piece, like Oolong, like he kind of looked weird a little bit. Although like I think it did a decent job, but it did look like a weird nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like One Piece kind of it set a bar, but it also the bar wasn't that high to begin with. So the best way,
Yeah.
like it's kind of like it's good and bad. Like it's good because we'll get more like live action, but it's bad just because one, like Oda like was really heavily involved in making it. You know what I mean? So they had the money behind it to like make the sets and shit. Because I feel like that was one of the best parts of the show, is like the atmosphere and the sets and shit. Like if they didn't really have actual pirate ships there, like how would it really look? Like, you know what I mean? Or the actual sets of some of the places. So I think and I don't know if the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho's like fully onto this. Like I don't know if he, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I
I don't
don't.
think he is, bro.
And also on top of that, like One Piece is a bigger show, so of course the budget would go more towards One Piece. And seeing the teaser trailer, some shots look good, but some shots don't. So it's like, damn, it's tough. It's just, yeah, it's tough just because I think, like you said, I think the story is doable, but I think it's the little things that what makes animation overall, in my opinion, a better medium, just because you can pull off a lot of nuance, like the baby, like I don't know that nigga's name, the baby in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Wenma?
Yeah, and like how he looked in the teaser, it was just like, you know what I mean? It's like pulling that off in live action is tough. So, but just from what I've seen so far, I think I'm excited just to dive into Yu Yu just from like a non-biased perspective, just to see if they can pull it off, kind of the same way I went into with One Piece, you know. But
And I just hope that the actors are able to actually like portray the characters in the right way, because I don't want it to, because although like serious things were happening in Yu Yu, during those serious moments they didn't feel serious because of the chemistry and the bickering between the characters. I hope they're able to depict that and not have it just like a standoff serious show, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be just dry and serious. I want it to be like upbeat within the darkness. That's how it felt like. I felt like it was upbeat. Like despite dark shit was happening, the characters were still kind of like bickering, kind of made the show feel light. Although they would say vulgar things at the same time.
yeah, but yeah,
Instead of him
definitely.
trying to be like a macho, quiet.
Yeah, he's not that
Tough
type of
guy.
guy. But yeah, I do think even after One Piece, I'm still worried. Like I don't know. I'm not sure if they can pull it off. Like One Piece, like I feel like it definitely was deserving of like the praise it got, but I feel like a lot of it was just based on the fact that if you look at the past, what we've gotten, you know what I mean? So it's also like, it's a hard thing to do, where it's like, yes, they did good on this, but that doesn't give me faith for everything else they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
And they just got through the easy part,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't so easy. I'm not saying like creating that was easy, but like I feel like that's something that you can create. When I think of the One Piece world, bro, what they're gonna have to go through, and it's gonna be hard.
Down the line, it's gonna be crazy, definitely. But yeah, what do you do you think it's gonna be good or not? Like coming from just based off what you've seen and being a fan of Yu Yu, you think they're actually gonna pull it off? Because they also did Cowboy Bebop.
Based off what I've seen, I don't know if it's gonna be good, because I did see the characters look kind of like the actual anime, but like I didn't see like how like the story's gonna go. You know what I mean? I couldn't have an idea of like how did they meet to grow. Like I don't know if it's gonna kind of stay true to the story, and that's not really an issue. If it's not, I just hope it's the story that they tell is good.
It's good,
And
yeah.
that's so I have no idea. And then PA's third eye kind of look weird, but
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
what definitely stood out to me was the action. I think Um,
Mhm.
if for a show like for any anime show, I feel like, especially like, well, would you consider? I would consider Yu like a shonen type of show. Any type of shonen show, you really have to go all out with the action, just because I feel like um, that makes just anime in general stand out. Like its action set pieces and like it's two characters fighting or two different ideologies kind of clashing and to a degree. So I want to see. I think they did good with that. So it's like at least the show will be watchable. Like
Yeah.
like so
Yeah.
there's that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope they do this show good.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully they pull it off, man. But yeah, that's
Glamour of wearing diamonds. Diamonds bring status, elegance, and prestige. Their brilliance makes